Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Very excited to talk to you about something very on the ground. I am the head of security and IT at a fintech startup in New York. And my job is to help us leverage AI to secure all the things and to keep developers moving fast. That's a lot to do, all three of those things, but we can do it. Our fintech is like many of your organizations, I suspect. We're leveraging AI at rapid speed, and we love it. We're seeing product managers ship code without an engineer in the middle. We're seeing developers move 10 to 40x their speed when deploying code. So check, moving developers fast. But we're also seeing AI occasionally make not the best life decisions. Occasionally. A lot of the time, its head's in the right place. Before I get into where I'll take us in this fast 13 minutes, a short story, something hopefully you don't hear if you're a security practitioner or a security leader in your first few weeks of a job, and that's, hey, security, there's an S3 bucket. It's public. It has some customer info in it. There's some traffic going to it. Should we look into that? Yeah. Let's get the incident room together. Good security leader, get the incident room together. We start looking through security logs. Someone goes, oh, I didn't know AI could deploy buckets with customer information onto the internet for us. Yeah, I can. Not the best life decisions. So we're here to help. And that's what this talk is about. It's about how we cut through and get really onto the ground and start to secure AI today. We're going to talk through the framework that I like to use. It's the mindset, high leverage, low lift first. And then I'll talk you through my top three things that I think you can start to do, or at least talk to your developers, engineers, security folks, you can start to do, probably if you sat down to it literally today. We'll go through those, and but first I'll start you where I started. So my apologies, or you're welcome, a bit of gratuitous security violence. This is my actual AI, how to secure all the things backlog. This one's actually kind of nice. I've prioritized things. This is where I started. It's a lot. It's a lot for even a resource security team, nonetheless, a tiny security team that is securing all the things and trying to do it at AI speed. So here's me sitting with my security log on week one of my new role, talking to myself. We can't do all the things. We've got one developer, if we're lucky. This is maybe roughly about your organization as well. We've got, one security person to about 100 employees, 50 developers. Like, if you're lucky, that's a good ratio. There's a high asymmetry between the security team and the rest of the organization. So really what this talk is about is how we battle that. How do we combat that and get on the ground fast? We need balance. We've got to bring balance back to the force, or at least to our workloads. So here we go. This is a little better, little less violent, a little more PG-13. Some of you may be familiar with the Eisenhower matrix. This is the idea that you map urgency with importance, and then you decide what to do, what not to do based on that. This is pretty similar, except that we are mapping our resources on the bottom instead of urgency. We're talking about lift, or the level of effort it's going to take to implement. You can break this down into a quadrant, much like the Eisenhower framework. You can kind of see that in the gray letters in the back. I like to think of it a little bit more like rays of sunshine. There's a line that kind of draws between, from the corner, draws between the red dots and the yellow dots. Those red dots are the high leverage, low lift things where we want to start. High leverage, low lift. The stuff over here, down the bottom, forget about it. So I'm going to talk through, I think it is literally the two dots on all the way to the right. Okay, Guardrail number 1. We're using agentic rules files. This is basically a configuration file, much like any other. Some of you may be familiar, nodding heads, those that aren't. You can almost speak to AI to generate one of these in natural language. You certainly can tune it and add in more, and we'll see a little bit of an example over time. But to get started, if you sit down and just ask AI to create one for you, you'll be able to start using this right away. We also, why this works, why it works to create a rules file that includes some of our security policies, the things that we want to look for. Things like, please don't put hard-coded credentials, passwords into your code and then deploy it. Things like looking for logic issues, literally things like pointing right to the OWASP top 10, or even now the AI, thank you OWASP community, the AI OWASP top 10 in your rules files in plain English. This works because we can then put the rules file right into the software that developers are using, their co-pilots, to write their code. We can also put it into our CI pipelines. So before we actually send code to production, AI is checking itself for these things that we've told it to check for. Is this perfect? No, but it is high leverage and will get you started. This is a little bit what it looks like. You can see on this side, I just have this file called security.md. Sorry, there's a lot on the screen. This is my tuned version. I'm looking for some specific code logic, but AI helped me generate this, and then I reviewed it. And then on the far side, you can see what a developer sees. And there's an overall security assessment. What's good, what's not good, in plain English for my developer. So the education is built right into the CI pipeline. This also works because it's not blocking. You can certainly make this blocking. You can ask AI to make this blocking. But today, I mostly just flag things and have developers take a look at it. That brings us to the second guardrail, which is we want humans in the loop still. There's still training wheels on AI, but we don't want to slow them down. So how can we do that? Well, if you're using any sort of version control tool, we use GitHub. There is likely a configuration file where you can force the number of reviewers, and we can force it to be human reviewers. So and before I show this, there's also some benefit signal that you get from doing this. Most tools, you'll be able to pull it out of your GitHub or other tools. We can look at how many pull requests, requests to send code, actually had a human reviewer. Compliance when we can prove that is 100%. When we set this configuration file, it should be 100%. We can look at how many lines of code the AI changed and other types of signals that we can start to correlate into a risk score. How risky was the change that AI was trying to make? And we're basically building a fast lane to identify the types of AI changes that we will eventually take the training wheels off of. We can also look at time to review. This is this has two ends. There's two ends of the spectrum on this. On one hand, we're looking for people who aren't actually reviewing. Rubber stamping, AI gave me some code, ship it. So low time to review. On the other, we're looking for where we're actually slowing developers down by having them review all of this new AI input. So some signals you want to capture along with enforcing human-in-the-loop code review. GitHub, most other tools will have a similar configuration. GitHub makes this super easy, like fail-proof easy. We can set that we want the number of reviewers to be greater than or equal to 1 on any request to ship code. We can make sure those are human reviewers and not just Claude by listing the humans in our code owners file. We can say, nope, nobody's allowed to dismiss a review. And there are no exceptions. No administrator, you don't get security team, you don't get special privileges. You're still going to review AI's code. Yeah, seriously, no exceptions. Seriously, if we keep scrolling, thank you, GitHub. seriously, no exceptions. This is like saying the same thing as above, but it's like, are you sure you don't want your administrators to bypass code reviews? Yeah, I really don't want my administrators bypassing this, because my administrators co-piloting with AI have the privileges to ship an S3 bucket to the public. And the last one is, just like a human, just like an intern, you want a dedicated AI identity. And it's going to start off with the training wheels. Low permissions, so no access to the production environment. Give it restrictions to your sensitive databases. And this works because we're limiting the blast radius. We're limiting the blast radius. We're preventing AI from shipping that S3 bucket in the first place. It's super simple, at least to start. You will tune this over time, start to grant it permissions over time as it earns its right. But basically, you can see that we've got an administrator role, we've got a developer role, and we've got a separate agentic AI role. And that's what's used with our AI tools, and that's what our developers use when they're co-piloting with AI. A little more on the permissions. That's something you'll, again, tune over time, but start small. Start with the training wheels. Recap. You can leverage MD files. You can enforce human-in-the-loop code reviews. And you can give AI its own least privilege identity. There's some extras here. I lost a slide. But basically, if I were to, what I hope is when you walk out the door, maybe today, you'll create an AI identity if you don't have one already and start using that with your AI tools, especially if you're shipping code. Maybe this week, you will go configure human in the loop for your code reviews. Maybe this month, you'll start to play with an MD file. And you'll budget some time for the unknowns, because certainly, someone said it, we're in uncharted territory. This is how we get started today, but you still need to budget time for all of those unknowns that will change your chart. Thank you.